Hello and welcome to Mangum News. I'm your host, Elijah Mangum. This week we'll be discussing Russia invading Ukraine, President Joe Biden choosing his Supreme Court nominee, Governor Tate Reeves signing 2 new executive orders, fires across central Mississippi, a Mardi Gras motorcade at the Blur E. Batson Children's Hospital, and my exclusive interview with the NFL's first full-time female referee, Sarah Thomas. Without further ado, let's begin. After weeks of the world waiting, Russia mounted a full-scale invasion on Ukraine on Thursday. The invasion left over 130 dead within the first day. This comes after Russian President Vladimir Putin announced a special military operation in Ukraine, followed by airstrikes moments later. U.S. President Joe Biden responded with new economic sanctions. The sanctions will restrict the exports of some products from the U.S. to Russia, blocking Moscow's ability to acquire technology essential to defense, aerospace, and other critical sectors. The sanctions also target Russian banks and elites with close ties to Putin, freezing every asset Russia has in the U.S. President Joe Biden also announced U.S. forces to be deployed into Germany.
Putin is the aggressor. Putin chose this war, and now he and his country will bear the consequences.
On Friday, President Biden announced his nominee for Supreme Court Justice, Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. Judge Jackson will replace Justice Stephen Breyer, and if confirmed, will make history as the first black woman in the U.S. Supreme Court.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I am truly humbled by the extraordinary honor of this nomination. And I am especially grateful for the care that you have taken in discharging your constitutional duty in service of our democracy with all that is going on in the world today. I also offer my sincere thanks to you as well, Madam Vice President, for your invaluable role in this nomination process.
On Monday, Governor Tate Reeves announced 2 new executive orders that will benefit military families. The orders established the Military Star Schools program and the Mississippi Defense Communities Development Council. The Military Star Schools program will be administered through the Department of Education and will help children of military families better transition from one school to the next.
The Military Star Schools program that we are creating today will allow the Mississippi Department of Education to award and designate schools that have created a special program to recognize the children of military-connected families and the unique challenges they face when their active duty parent receives a relocation order. Under this executive order, a school will be eligible to apply for a Military Star designation if they do the following things: designate a staff member as a military ambassador, maintain a web page on the school's website, which includes resources for military students and their families. Maintain a peer-to-peer transition program that assists students transitioning.
The Mississippi Defense Communities Development Council will replace the current Mississippi Military Communities Council, while giving the program a new focus.
The Mississippi Defense Communities Development Council will continue to become a community-based effort that will work to strengthen our military installations and advise our federal and our state legislative delegations. But under this order, representatives from the communities in which military installations are located can advise executive and legislative officials regarding changes to military installations and opportunities for new facilities, new missions, and opportunities for employment in the state.
On Sunday, a fire broke out at the shopping center in Richland. Richland Police Department Public Information Officer Allison McDonald says the fire started in Rebecca Rose Flea Market around 1:30 p.m. Later on Sunday, another fire broke out at the abandoned Hotel O on Ellis Avenue in Jackson. This is the fourth time the building has caught on fire. The Mississippi Department of Public Safety hosted a Mardi Gras motorcade at the Blurry Batson Children's Hospital on Thursday. Nicole McCurdle of Dark Horse Press has the story.
Children's of Mississippi and Jackson held their annual Mardi Gras motorcade today. The hospital, along with DPS and Mississippi Highway Patrol, have worked hard to make the event possible.
We wanted to come over here and fellowship with them and have this Mardi Gras parade just to show them something, to let them know that we're thinking about them. You know, any festivity that we can get together and bring in to the Blurry Batson Center to show the kids, we're going to do that.
First Lady of Mississippi Ely Reeves and Commissioner Sean Tyndall were also in attendance, handing out beads and showing their support. Did you have fun at the Mardi Gras parade?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me your favorite part of the parade.
Motorcycles.
Children's of Mississippi and DPS say that there's only one goal for this parade: to spread joy.
It makes me feel awesome. It makes me feel worthy. It makes me feel like I got love in my heart, and which I do.
Is just kind of describe your career journey in sports until now.
All right. Well, Elijah, I started in sports, I think, as soon as I came into this world, because my parents loved sports, our extended families loved sports, but I actually started playing softball when I was 5 years old and loved the game of softball. So whenever I was in fifth grade, my mom's oldest sister, Jill Upton, she was a phenomenal basketball player, and she was coaching at Dallas Baptist University when I was in fifth grade. But just to take a step back with her story, and why I looked up to her so much, is she was just phenomenal as a basketball player. In one game, they said she scored 63 points in 3 quarters and injured herself to where she couldn't complete the game. So after she played, she went on and coached at the W there in Columbus, Mississippi, and won the first women's national title at the W in 1971. And that granted her the honor to coach the U.S. World Team in 1973 that went to Moscow, Russia, and played, and they won a silver medal. And a lot of people know the name Dot Murphy and Pat Summitt. They were on that team. So I just looked up to her. And when she asked me, was I going to play basketball when I was in fifth grade? I said, well, they don't have a girls team. She said, go out for the boys team. And I did. So I played on the boys team in Pascagoula, 5th, 6th, 7th grade. 8th grade, I tried out for the middle school and made it, and then went on and played high school and played at the University of Mobile. All the while still loving the game of softball. And my brothers played football and soccer. And so we were just always involved in an athletic event. That was our vacations. That was our life. So after college, they did have a women's league over in Gulfport, Mississippi. But, you know, I'm trying to work. I'm fresh out of college. I didn't have the money to drive over there. So my brothers allowed me to play on their men's church league. So I did. And 3 years after that, I got kicked out of the church league because I was a girl. And a couple of months after that, I was on the phone with my older brother, Lee, and I just asked him, I said, hey, what are you doing this evening? And he said he was going to a football officials meeting. And I said, can girls do that? And he said, I guess so, sis. So I started officiating high school and junior varsity and middle school and peewees in 1996, which is crazy. That was 26 seasons ago. So I dove into the high school officiating. I didn't even know there was, you know, you could work up all the way to the NFL. I didn't even realize that. But my ninth season, my crew chief, Larry Tucker, he asked me, he said, Sarah, he said, would you want to be on my crew in the Junior College Association? I said, sure. He said, all right, well, send in your application. So I told him a couple of weeks later, I said, hey, I'm going to send in my application. And he said, don't do it. And I said, why, Tuck? You don't want me on your crew anymore? And he goes, nope, that's not it. He said, the assigning secretary said he would never hire you because you're a woman. And Bridley and Brady were young. And then my 10th season, Bridley started playing organized sports. And I just told the crew I was going to give it up. My priority is my family. I love doing this. And what I thought was my last game, Elijah, was a state championship. And there was an NFL scout there scouting officials. And he recognized something I did on the field. He did tell me he didn't realize I was a woman. And I said, I don't know if that's a compliment or not. But he said he just thought I had what it took to go to the next level. And so he got me plugged in with Gerald Austin, Conference USA supervisor. Gerald hired me. I worked 7 seasons, 8 seasons. I was pregnant during one of those, had Bailey. And then in 2013, I was still working at Conference USA, but got hired in the developmental program with the NFL. And then in 2015, the NFL hired me. And I just finished my 7th season.
And so then on, kind of describe, that in later on in 2019, you became the first woman to officiate a playoff game. And then last year in 2021, you became the first woman to officiate a Super Bowl. Kind of describe that feeling too.
Elijah, the thing with this journey, there's no overnight success. And so years and years and years of hard work, off the field work, led up to the opportunity to be selected to work a playoff game. When I got the call about the playoff game, I asked Ron Tolbert, I said, am I on the field or am I an alternate? And he said, you're on the field. And it was a great feeling because you only are allowed to work those types of postseason assignments ranked where you fell in your rankings on your grades of your performance during the season. So I was grateful for it, but making history is not anything I set out to do, or being a first is not what I set out to do. It was truly because I fell in love with it and the challenge behind it and the competitive nature. And then, being on the field with NFL players and coaches and staff, it's just amazing. So working that game was great, but we do so much work. Once we get there, it's another game to us. We have got to officiate and do what got us there. And then the Super Bowl, getting the call to work the Super Bowl, I was shocked. I don't know if that's really the right word to use, but the crew I was on that year, phenomenal. Every crew I've been on has been great. That year, it was phenomenal. It was during COVID. We had so many other obstacles to overcome. And getting that call was to the point I had to pull over off the side of the road, Elijah, and make sure I didn't lose cell service. And then after I get that call, I'm like, I got to go to work. It was, almost 3 weeks from that call before the Super Bowl's played, because the championship comes up and then the teams are determined. So I had an additional 2 weeks to prepare, watch film, talk to my mentors, read the rule book, just dig even deeper. But the feeling was amazing. And my first call was to my mother and father. And I'm so thankful that they're alive to be able to see this. And maybe they think I turned out all right because I was that child that gave them a hard time. But it's amazing. But anything you do in life, Elijah, just like you land the governor of Mississippi or the first lady, which I believe you will. It will be because of your hard work. It won't be because, hey, I'm going to check a box here and this is going to raise my status in the world of where you're going. But it's because you're doing all the right things and putting things in place and not wanting a handout. You're doing the legwork to get you where you want to go.
So what does kind of describe a day in the life of Sarah Thomas? What does that look like in season and out of season?
Sure. Well, out of season, I am a baseball mom. I'm at a baseball field for Brady and Bridley. And then Bailey just started playing basketball. And so I am truly praying that we can maybe start a basketball league over here in Rankin County in the Northwest Rankin area for these elementary kids to start playing early on. So I'm in the works of doing that. But yeah, off season, there's not truly an off season right now. I'm not in the rule book, but March 1st, we start back up taking our test and watching training video and things like that. So, and getting ready for the season. During the season is kind of crazy, Elijah. I work for Mid-South Rehab and 360 Total Rehab here in Flowood, just do some marketing for them. But season, let's say I'm working in New England. And so I'll get up about 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning on Saturday morning and catch a 6 a.m. flight, get to Boston around 1 or 2 o'clock. We have a 2.5 hour pregame on Saturday afternoon, and that's going over plays from the previous week, our tests that we have, our training videos that we have, hashing out any kind of just, ground rules, just any kind of administrative work that we need to do. Then we eat dinner, go to bed, get up the next morning on Sunday game day. And I am a creature of habit. We have a devotional. We go to breakfast prior to COVID. COVID, we kind of had to stay in our room a little bit, but we did it all via Zoom. And then we're wheels up 3 hours before the kick. And when we get to the stadium, we have certain responsibilities that we have to tend to. So there's no downtime in the locker room. And then we go and we work the game. And after the game is over, we hop on the bus. They take us straight to the airport. On our ride to the bus, we're filling out a game report. And that's all the fouls that we threw, the flags that we threw. We have to identify them. And then maybe any questionable plays that we just want our supervisor and grader to look at. And we give that to our crew chief. He submits it to the league. And then on the flight home, I look at the film. I watch the game on my flight home. And we have an Excel spreadsheet that we do we self-grade. We grade ourselves, we grade our crew, and kind of, encouragement, but also some constructive criticism on, hey, take a look at this formation. What do you think this defender's doing? Things like that. Get home about 11:30 midnight on Sunday night and kind of put it to bed a little bit, and then wake up Monday morning and I'm tending to the kids, get them off to school. And then I'm on the phone or I'm watching the game. I may send some plays to my mentors and we talk about them, and then wait for the grades to come out on Tuesday or the comments from our grader, answer those, all the while working and being a mom. And then, Wednesday, get our official grade. Thursday, start looking at the game that's coming up on the next Sunday. And I also am on the speaking circuit. So I speak nationally for the Kepler Group out of Arlington, Virginia. And so I'm traveling with that too, sometime during the week, but not so much during season. The big leg of my speaking engagements are in the spring and summer.
What would be your advice to a young woman that wants to break barriers in sports, and follow in your footsteps?
Number one is, if it's something you're passionate about or you believe you want to try it out, go for it. And once you show your face, don't quit. Go through the challenges and don't look at them as roadblocks. Look at them as speed bumps. Some of my worst failures have turned into my greatest successes, and use your failure as a feedback. Find mentors, people you can trust, and don't do things to prove people wrong. You've got to prove to yourself that you belong in a place of where you've decided that you want to go, a journey you want to go on. So prove to yourself, and competence equals confidence. You're not going to have the confidence right off the bat. So you've got to do the legwork. You can't go through life doing things for the recognition. If your thought process is, hey, I want to be the first to do this, I want to be the boss, I want to make six figures, I want all of this, and that is exactly what you're setting out to do, you're missing it. Because I have learned people like that, they will step on anybody's toes to get up the ladder of success, to get in the spotlight. But they will not stay there long, because they will not have earned it the right way. And the toes that they stepped on to get up that ladder will be the backside they will kiss on the way down. But do it because you love it. Find a passion. If it becomes your passion, Fall in love with it. Work hard. Success only comes before work in the dictionary. But when you believe in yourself and you put one foot in front of the other and you're having fun while you're doing it, good things will happen.
That's all we have for this week. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe on YouTube and Facebook. Thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all on Sunday.